What's good, everybody? GetGudMillhouse back at it again with another part 2 of our last stream of last week. I break the streams down into 2 pieces because it's honestly a lot of stuff to go. Like there's a lot of topics to talk about in like a one, I guess, video. The stream is basically about like 5 hours, and I think the studying portion with me was around 2, maybe 3 hours. So like I don't want it to be something where it's just a pain to edit, even though this was still a pain to edit. But anyway, we're gonna be talking about how I break down form from other artists, and hopefully you guys get something out of this. I know I learn every time whenever I do this, so enjoy. Parts of it is gonna be voiceovers, parts of it is gonna be from the stream. You can do this with any of your favorite artworks or anybody that you like admire when it comes to art. Art is kind of low res though. Gotta find something that's all right. You know what? Let's just go to ArtStation. So we're gonna go to ArtStation. So what I'll do, I would take this, and we're going to, and what we're gonna do, we're just gonna use a little bit of it. We're not gonna take the entire thing. It doesn't stop at houses, and this is studying from like other artists. So that's what I'm saying. Like tracing. This is how you're gonna break down things and learn it for yourself. This is like one of the fastest ways to learn and improve, instead of like just drawing it straight out on your own and you're just having a hard time throughout the entire thing. Stealing is required in art, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that, because they don't want to be like, man, how like I want you to do tutorials. Your artwork is so good. Oh my god, how you get so good? I guess it's just hard work and determination. Like, yeah, it's hard work, but then there's also learning smart, not hard, you know? Like anybody, like any artist that you love when it comes to their artwork, like study from them. Don't feel bad about it, because they study from someone else, I'm sure. And this is TB Choi's work. This is a person I highly like. I love her work so goddamn much. All right, you can see it's not flat whatsoever. There's so much form in here. You want to get this type of form? This is what I just discovered about form. Lower the opacity. All right, so starting off with the house, what type of shape do we normally see? We see that it's a pyramid. The same shape that I drew before. It's a pyramid. Bam. Right? But the difference between this pyramid is that it's cut. And then they added a cylinder. This is where you start adding in, or you combining shapes to get you this type of look. Then this side over here is made with half of a, it's a half of a cylinder. So you can see that right here. And you can see that half here. So the cylinder is being broken up. Same thing with this side here. This is another half of a cylinder. Here. And then you can see that so we're going to do the contour of this building. All right. So this is a straight flat plane, then it curves in straight, curves again. And I'm just following the information that they already put down. This is how I start practicing my contours and shapes. Like even understanding like this right here is a box. This is a box. Added another box here, another cube. or a rectangle. And this is how you do breakdowns. Because right now, I'm like, oh, so this is how they put it all together. This. But why does it look so good that it does? You know, like if I just did this, why does it look so good? And my drawing itself, or my tracing, my breakdown of this doesn't look like the building. Because there's line weight. Something that we talked about briefly last week Saturday. We talked about line weights, different type of line weights. You have your light, medium, and heavy, if you want to think about it like a fighting game. There's another interesting one right here. You say that this is like half a cylinder, right? This is half a cylinder, right? And then this bottom part here is a cube. And then how do we add more? We're going to cut a hole in this said object here. And then you start understanding like, oh, okay, so this is how you can apply these shapes. And I think what makes it hard to like draw buildings and draw environments and stuff like that is because we don't look at enough of things like this. You can also take real life like photos and do the same thing. I want to show that as well, where I'm gonna take a car and like, or take some type of real world object and starts adding more to it, like adding the contour lines, trying to understand the shape itself. But this is one way how you can just start understanding like, okay, so this entire thing, this is a cube. This is a cube right here. Attached to it is another cube on the side. So I'm gonna do like that. Right? This is another cube. All right. And the roof, what is a roof? The roof is a triangle. And like, okay, so what about the other details of the triangle? Oh, you mean this part right here, where this is basically another, not a cube, but a rectangle. I'm gonna be going over characters. I can see that this is a shape here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just gonna do this. Just doing this part, all right? And then you can see that this thing curves. There you go, another curve right here. This is also like a cylinder. So we're gonna do this right here. This is an interesting shape. You have this. You can even do this as well. All right, and we're gonna do the contour. It's like a diamond. So this is why there's a highlight right here, because that's how you signify the edge. All right, this has, you can barely see it, but you can see that this comes down a little bit. This is where the plane changes, and this is flat. Same thing right here. Here's the plane change. And boom. Yeah. This is a additional cylinder. Let's say if our light source was coming from the top, right? And here's all your shadows. Guys, can you guys see the form of this? Can you now see the form? This is the reason why there are pockets of shadows, occlusion shadows. You see why this side is a little bit darker. Rinse and repeat throughout the entire illustration. I don't use the entire thing, but majority of the pieces I found interesting. I'm showing you guys like this is how I literally improved my artwork just by studying and looking at others and breaking it down for myself. And here is the same thing applied to anatomy. This is how I learned most of my anatomy. Yes, I have learned through books, but also I just kind of cheat my way through it as well. You can start off with the legs, break it down to common basic shapes, and understand how artists create their limbs and shapes. I study a lot from TB Choi, so I also am keeping that in mind, and also I'm trying to make sure I get the contour lines of the legs as well, the way how it's bending and how it's moving in perspective. Remember those tubes and how they bend in perspective in 1 point or 2 point perspective. The same applies to the limbs. They're all moving to a certain direction. So I'm making sure that I got my anatomy down. I got the chest in there and the shoulders, and I'm just identifying the shapes that is used by Grass Flu here to illustrate the limbs. Also using my additional anatomy knowledge of trying to map out where the rib cage is placed with the abdomen, and I'm drawing it over here on the side to make sure that I really understand the type of shapes that this artist is using. Yes, you can draw the cylinder, like you can draw my arm. This is a tube. This is straight up the tube, right? But what is my arm? What is this shape right here, right? What is this shape right here? You can see that my arm is like tapering right here. So from here over here, this you can see the cylinder of my arm is getting bigger, and then it turns into this right here, and then you add in the little muscles here and there. So when I copy from another artist, I'm also seeing how they're exaggerating the cylinder. So it's not only just me oh, okay, so this is the arm, right? There goes my arm, bean arm. No, I also see that also adding in this here, and then the hand is something like that or whatever. See, like she already has her shapes planned out and mapped out. And this is where she's like extruding, you're extruding. And I'm not sure if this is like what she was talking about extruding, like the green part here is like this entire thing green. Is that the extrusion? You know, I can see how you're like push it in, but this doesn't come out. I guess that's extruding. But let's say if I wanted to understand, like, oh man, this is a really cool shape. What is that? All right. Once again, repeating the process of trying to understand the shapes. Then I understand, like, oh, okay, so this is curving in this way. This is open. And then from there, I can find a little center. And then right here. Do the same. This is how I learned from TB Choi or other artists. I just see how they do this. Now I'm also taking what TB Choi has written down for her notes for extruding and beveling parts of her illustration. I'm trying to understand it by creating the common shapes that I've seen used here. I see that a lot of them are in weird positions, but I'm still going to map it out with using contour lines and to really understand the volume of how big or how round something is. Again, this greatly helps. just going over someone else's artwork, especially someone that you admire and you love. This is one of the many ways of how I learned how to get better at drawing armor and drawing better looking hair, arms, limbs, you name it, everything. I use this from time to time. I did this a lot during 2021. You want to look for things like this, like Krensku Charts. He's a really good one. Look for stuff with construction line drawings in it, so you can understand like the type of shapes that are made with making, like, I don't know, the bicep or the forearm or the head. You can find artwork that gives you character models and body body poses that are like broken down like this. This helps a lot. And that's wraps it up for last week's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. I hope you guys got some type of value from this. I will be streaming again on Saturdays and Sundays at 12 p.m. PST. And this week, we're going to go over anatomy, and I'm going to show you guys how I actually learned how to draw bodies. You are now watching the rest of the stream where I worked on the emotes. We got some brand new emotes. If you guys want to get yourself some new emotes, we also got some animated ones. Just head down to my Twitch channel, hit that sub, and feel free to spam my chat with all those emotes, and also spam everyone else as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one, or see you on Saturday. You guys be well. And remember, you guys are always getting better because you guys are looking for the improvement. Bye.